So this is for you concert goers out there in New York City. To start with, I'm a musician and I go to a lot of concerts. I love concerts. I've seen a lot of great acts pass here, and I've had the big privilege of living in New York City where concerts happen all the time, and there's just like so many great concert venues to go to. And I thought that for those of you who don't go to as many concerts, I would do a tier list of venues that I have been to. These are not all of them, but it's a good amount of them. It's a good amount of the ones that you're going to see very commonly, especially this summer as concert season is coming up. So we're going to do a little ranking here of all the venues that I've been to. These are 12 venues around the city, ranging from small venues to like mainstream big venues, right? So think relatively here. Like you can't compare Madison Square Garden to DROM or like a smaller venue like the Bitter End, but I'm going to put them in there anyway just in case you see them, and I'm going to talk about 4 different things. Sound, quality of sound. 2, accessibility of location. 3, comfortability. And 4, efficiency. And you're going to see what I mean by these categories when we get into them. But let's get started here. I've played at some of these actually, so there might be some bias towards those, but let's start with the first one here. Bowery Ballroom, and this is a good place to start. I was just there last night. I saw Laundry Day last night there. They're like a New York band, and that was really, really fun. I would say sound was like 7 out of 10. Accessibility of location, I'm gonna give this one a 10 out of 10 because this train station is right outside the venue. I mean, what more can you ask for? Train station right outside the venue. Comfortability, 7 out of 10. It's not as crowded as the normal general admission venues that you're gonna get from these places. And efficiency, I'm gonna say, okay, 6 out of 10. You had to walk down this like weird stairway, and then we had to wait in this like lobby area, and then like doors opened an hour after we had gone in there, and then we went up another stairway. It's kind of weird, the whole system's there. So I'm gonna give this one, I'll give this one a B. Didn't amaze me. Moving on, the Bitter End. Okay, so this was one of the first venues that I played in. This is a venue where you're gonna see a lot of singer-songwriters, a lot of open mics. This is a really, really small venue, like 250 people, maybe 300, no, 250 people, I think. I'm gonna say the sound's like a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, it's not amazing, but at the same time, when I played there, the monitoring sound was pretty good. Remember anything bad about that? So I think the sound was pretty good. Accessibility location, I mean, West 4th Street, you had still to walk in like another like 5 to 10 minutes up a crowded street. So I'm gonna give that one like a 7 out of 10. Comfortability, 6 out of 10. It's really crowded in there. And seats, if you want seats, you're gonna have to pay for drinks. And efficiency, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I feel like it's just, again, it's crowded in there, and I don't really like moving around in there, and getting in and out is kind of a hassle. So I will give this one, you know what, I'll also put this one at B. This is not bad. Okay, moving on. Next, Irving Plaza. Okay, this is one of my favorite venues in the city, and I'm going to say, starting with the sound, it's pretty much a 9 out of 10. It's pretty good everywhere that you stand besides Barricade. So and if you want Barricade, don't expect the sound to be good anywhere. But I think everywhere else that I've stood in Irving Plaza, I've seen a bunch of acts here. I've seen like Tiny Habits here. I've seen Laundry Day here. I've seen Quarters of Change here. I've seen people like Colony House here. I've seen Valley here. I've been here so many times. I love Irving Plaza. And like I would say, accessibility location, it's near Union Square. It's pretty good. Comfortability, 7 out of 10. Anywhere you stand, it's not that crowded. Like a lot of people don't like it. I don't mind it. There's also a balcony if you get tickets to up there, and like that's pretty cool. I saw that for Colony House. It was like I was like upstairs. It's pretty cool. Efficiency, 9 out of 10. The security is pretty good at getting people in and out of places, and it's got kind of wide staircase versus like Bowery, which is like a tiny staircase. So I'm gonna put this one at S tier because I've been here many times and it's never given me a bad experience. Always been good. Okay, coming on, Madison Square Garden. Okay, so I've seen some of my favorite bands here, so I'm gonna have a little bit of bias, but I'm gonna say, I don't know, it really depends on what you're doing there. I mean, I saw the 1975 there, I saw John Mayer there, I think I also saw Paramore there, which is like 3 of just my favorite acts in music. Like I remember just being so excited for the concerts here. I would say sound, 7 out of 10. It's an arena, so like I prefer the smaller venues in terms of sound. So accessibility of location is literally on top of a train station. I can take the Long Island Railroad home. It's pretty good. I'm gonna give that one a 10 out of 10. Comfortability, there's seats, 8 out of 10, sure. Efficiency, 8 out of 10 is pretty good. And now, while it seems I'm giving this a pretty good score, I'm gonna say that just the people there, I don't like sitting around with people who are just talking all the time, and like seated venues are always kind of an iffy thing for me. I've never been in pit, to be honest, so I can't tell whether that's a good experience. I've always been in seats. There's always some sort of corporate group there talking like during a concert. Like I don't know. I've had good experiences there, but I'm gonna give this one a C just because. Also, so expensive. Every ticket there is so expensive for no reason. Okay, Mercury Lounge. I played here in February. I really, really, really liked it. Playing there, and I've also been to a bunch of concerts there. I've seen small artists of the likes of like Abby Holiday there. I've seen Valley there. I've seen a couple of my friends play there. It's always been a good time. Like I've always liked the sound there. The sub was really nice, and it's a really small venue, but it doesn't feel very small, so it doesn't feel like crowded. But at the same time, like it is a small venue, so like you're gonna feel the energy a lot more. I like that. So accessibility of location, I would say 8 out of 10. Like it's all right. I mean, Second Avenue on the F, but you have to walk over a little bit. It's not that bad. Comfortability, 9 out of 10. There's seats on the side. It's pretty cool. It's not like a super sweaty venue either. Efficiency, 9 out of 10. I'm gonna say that. Nice big hallway for people to get in and out of. Never give me a problem. I'm gonna say this is an S tier venue. This is. Next, we come into Hammerstein Ballroom. I've only been here once. It's also known as the Manhattan Center. It's like next to the Sam Ash, or where Sam Ash was on 34th Street. And it's like the venue next to Madison Square Garden. I don't really like this venue. I think, okay, let's go through the things first. So sound, I would say it's a 6 out of 10. Just because the time I was there, they were having a bunch of technical issues. And I don't know, like it was all right. I saw the band Camino here. Accessibility location, again, the subway's right next to it. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's pretty good. Doesn't beat MSG because MSG literally just go downstairs. Comfortability, 9 out of 10. I didn't have a crowd issue here. Like there's some venues that I've been at where it's like been really crowded, especially if you go barricade. But even I got like nearly barricade at Hammerstein, and it was pretty good. Efficiency, 9 out of 10. Big doors, like it. But again, a lot of these things would be down to just my general experience there. So I'm going to also give this one a C next to the Madison Garden Group. Not because there was annoying people there, but just because like I don't really like theater venues for like pop and rock acts. Rooftop at Pier 17. All right, this is an insanely cool venue. I saw one act here, and that was Alec Benjamin back in September of like 2022 or something like that, I think. And that was pretty cool. I'm going to say that sound, 8 out of 10, surprisingly good for an outdoor venue. Accessibility of location, now that drops it down to a 6 because you have to walk all the way there from like Fulton, but it's not a bad walk. I mean, it's not that far. I'm just gonna say it's a lot worse than the other ones. Comfortability, 8 out of 10. I mean, maybe I'll drop that down a little bit just because like it does get pretty crowded up there, but it depends on which act you're seeing, I guess. And efficiency, 8 out of 10. Escalator is pretty good. I mean, it's all right, but at the same time, I'm gonna give it props because it is a really, really cool venue. You're gonna see Brooklyn Bridge behind you. You're gonna see sunset behind you if you're lucky in the summer. It is a rooftop, so it is weather dependent, but I would go back to this venue. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna give it an A. Right, Brooklyn Steel. I've been here once. I saw Lizzie McAlpine here, and I'm going to say that the sound was an 8 out of 10, surprisingly good. It's like Irving, kind of. I would put it on the level of Irving. Accessibility of location is where it really drops down. I'm gonna give it a 4, just because you have to go all the way down to like, I don't even know. You have to take the L somewhere, or you could. I took a bus from my house. Like it's just really far out, and it's a pain to get to versus the other venues like these that we've been talking about so far. For comfortability, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It again, no crowding issue because it was super wide. I think if you're not used to the general admission stuff, Brooklyn Steel's pretty good. And efficiency, they're pretty good about getting people in and out. Big doors. Again, I'm all for big doors at concerts. I'm gonna put Brooklyn Steel here just because of location. Webster Hall. Okay, so. This is kind of interesting. Webster Hall is exactly like Irving, but with higher ceilings. And both times I went, I feel like sound was like 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. I prefer Irving's sound. It's pretty similar to Irving. Accessibility location, also 8 out of 10. For NYU students, if you are an NYU student, it's literally like right there. Like on, I think like 11th Street and like 4th Avenue or something like that. Comfortability, 7 out of 10. The crowding does get kind of crazy there, I will say. But you could also go to the balconies, and it might be better. Efficiency, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Pretty small hallway coming in. I don't like that. And it's like coming in like this way, and then the venue is like sideways, it's like pointing that way. I think that's kind of weird. I'm going to give this one, I'll give it one a B actually, because I like the acts I saw here, so it's pretty good. Okay, we have come down to Terminal 5. I don't think anyone really likes this venue at all. Maybe I'm wrong, but every time I've gone there like twice. Let's get to the list. Sound, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's not a bad sound, but you have to be standing at the right spot. Like if you're standing in the side or whatever, it just starts to get, it's so loud in there. Accessibility of location, I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 10, man. This one's not cool. Like you have to go to like I don't even know. Like, I think 50th on the E, and then you have to walk like 3 avenues over all the way to like the west side. Comfortability, 4 out of 10. It gets so crowded in here, no matter where you're at. The balcony, the floor, wherever, it gets so crowded because like it's not that. I don't think it's actually that much bigger than Irving Plaza or like Webster, but it's supposed to be able to have capacity for 3 times of Irving Plaza and Webster Hall. I don't understand. D tier. Efficiency is just like there's this tiny hallway, and getting out always sucks. I always leave like before the encore because I just don't want to deal with the people walking out. I'm gonna leave that one down there. Okay, so Radio City Music Hall. I've also been here like 2 or 3 times. I saw Claro here, which is pretty cool. One of my first concerts was here. I think Claro was just really quiet, just because like that was what she wanted it to be. She wanted it to be like kind of like a living room-esque acoustic thing. It was pretty cool. It was a sling tour back in 22. I'm gonna say sound was like a 6 out of 10 for both times I've been there. The second time I saw Keshi there, pretty good sound, pretty good sub, but it's again, I don't like theater venues are kind of weird. It is a beautiful venue though. I love the architecture of that. Accessibility of location, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It's by Rockefeller, so you could take the F literally anywhere. Easy to get back home. Comfortability, the seats are pretty nice there. It's better than MSG, so I'm gonna give it like an 8 out of 10. Efficiency, 9 out of 10. It is a music hall. It's like a theater venue, so they get out like big staircases, big doors. I'm gonna actually give this one an A. I mean, it is a nice experience being there. And I know I do have some acts I will want to see there if they went. I remember Bleachers playing Radio City. I was like, I wish I'd gone to that, but it was all right. All right, in our last venue, I'm going to give it to DROM. This is a small venue, like a really small venue on Avenue A, and I've played there numerous times. We're going to play there on June 9th for a festival with Kids Rock for Kids. If you want to come by, tickets are on sale now. I'm going to say the sound is a solid 5.5 out of 10. I wrote here 5 out of 10, but I'm going to say 5.5. I mean, the sound isn't anything crazy. It depends on the audio engineer. Every time I've been there, the sound's been different. It just gets kind of loud and muddy in there, but playing on stage is pretty cool. I mean, it's a pretty cool venue to be in. Accessibility location, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. It's also 2nd Avenue, so like where Mercury Lounge is, but you have to walk up a lot more, and it's kind of annoying to get to. I've had days where it's like raining and stuff. I'm carrying a bunch of gear, not cool. Comfortability, as a person watching, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. There's like seats, bar seats or whatever. You can also stand and you could see from anywhere, and it's pretty cool. Efficiency, again, wide hallways. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It's pretty good. I don't think there's crowd issues here. Gonna give it an A. And that brings us to all the venues I've been to in New York. There's a lot more to be explored, and I'm excited to get to them if I can. Like Gramercy is one I haven't been to. Barclays, I haven't been to that one, so I can't compare that against Madison Square Garden. But it is pretty cool. This range of venues that I've been to. I think it's a pretty good range of venues, I would say, if you're looking to go to a concert here in New York and you haven't really been to any of these venues. These venues are good. Again, feel free to disagree with me in the comments. I've just had good experiences at these venues in this order. So thank you for watching. If you want to check out my music, I'm on Spotify. I play shows around here. Someday I might play at one of these venues. I've already played at like Mercury, DROM, Bitter End, some of these places. But my dream is to indeed play Irving, and I'm really excited for the day that I get to play there. Until then, I'm going to keep making videos like this throughout the summer, so if you want to see more stuff and you have ideas, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.